History books tells us that sub-Saharan Africa didn't master the magic of glass until the Europeans arrived. But deep in the forests of Nigeria, 1,000 years ago, there was a city that wasn't just making glass. They were manufacturing blue gold at temperatures hotter than a volcanic eruption. Imagine a substance so valuable that it can buy a beautiful kingdom. It's so beautiful that it was believed to be a gift from the gods, and so technologically advanced that the 20th century scientists literally didn't believe it was made in Africa. Today, we will be uncovering the lost glass city of ancient Nigeria. And the truth is far more explosive than we ever imagined. But before we find the fire, we have to look at the mystery of the nameless bead. And if you have never heard of this story before, you are not alone. Hit subscribe so you never miss the history they didn't teach us. Welcome to Ancient Ife. Forget what you have been told about simple ancient technology. We are looking at a lost industrial powerhouse that kept its chemical secrets hidden for a millennium. But how did they do it without a single modern thermometer? Let's dive into the mystery. Across West Africa, from the gold mines of Ghana to the royal courts of Benin, these deep blue beads, the Segi, were everywhere. They were the ultimate status symbol, but there was a problem. Nobody knew where they came from. For a long time, the experts had an answer. They must have been traded from Venice, they said, or perhaps Egypt. The implication was clear. African hands couldn't make something this perfect. That lie held for nearly a century, until 2010, in the sacred groves of Ile-Ife, archaeologists started finding something strange. Not just beads, but thousands of ceramic crucibles. These weren't cooking pots, they were industrial strength, glass melting vessels, still encrusted with layers of brilliant blue, green, and red glass. This wasn't just a discovery, it was a crime scene of a forgotten history. Ife wasn't just a trade stop, it was the Silicon Valley of the 11th century. Do you think history is intentionally hidden or just forgotten? What do you think? Tell me in the comment sections. Now, here is where it gets shocking. Making glass isn't just about melting the sand. It's a high-stake chemical dance. Most ancient glass makers in Rome or Egypt use flux, usually plant ash, to lower the melting point so their wood fire could handle it. But the artisans of Ile-Ife, they took the hard road. They used a unique high alumina recipe. They were melting local granite and specialized sand that required a staggering 1,200 degrees Celsius. To put that in perspective, that's the temperature of a flowing lava. If the fire dropped by just a few degrees, the glass would turn to mud. If it got too hot, the ceramic pots would explode. They were doing this with no thermometer, no digital sensors, only the color of the flame and the sound of the air. This wasn't just luck, it was a mastery of thermodynamics that suggests a massive, organized guide of scientists. But the science was only half the story. The other half was hidden in the spiritual world. Stay with me. In ancient Ife, you can't just get a job in making glass. You were initiated into a secret society. The glass makers were like a priesthood of the earth. To them, glass wasn't just a commodity. It was a frozen light. It was a physical bridge between the physical world, Aye, and the spiritual world, Oru. The blue color of the Segi beads was sacred to Olokun, the deity of the deep ocean, sea, and vast wealth. When the Oni, which is the king, wore his beaded crown, he wasn't just wearing jewelries, he was wearing a spiritual armor. Each bead was believed to hold a charge of divine energy, protecting the ruler from the overwhelming power of the ancestors. These beads were essentially seen as spiritual batteries, used to store and transmit power. Every time a kiln was lit, it was a ceremony. The heat, the smoke, and the final reveal of the liquid glass were seen as a miraculous transformation, turning common earth into eternal sky. But if they were this powerful, how did an entire industry simply vanish? The 1,500 years back, everything changed. European traders arrived and they saw how much Africans valued glass. So they did what modern corporations do. They flooded the markets. They brought millions of cheap mass-produced trade beads from Venice and Bohemia. They weren't as strong as Ile-Ife's glass. They didn't have the same high alumina, but they were plentiful. Slowly, the royal demand for the difficult, sacred, high-fire glass of Ife faded. The secret guard who guarded their chemical recipes for 500 years began to die out. Their kilns were covered by the forest, and the world forgot that Africa had ever mastered the fire. Look at this bronze head. Look at the precision. The same fire that forged these faces created the glass that adorned their kings. It proves that Africa's history isn't a story of catching up. It's a story of leading the way. The lost glass cities aren't just a story about beads. They are a reminder that African innovations did start with the modern age. It was always there, one white hut in the forest. When we look at these glow beads today, we aren't just looking at history. We are looking at a blueprint for the future. And if you want to see how these same ancestors built the impossible villages hanging from the sky, click this video on the Bandiagara Escame. I am Untold Africa, and the truth is always under the surface. If you love this video, kindly hit the subscribe button, because here is where the truth is always told. Hit that like button and share it with one person who loves untold history.